What is up, everyone? This is Inferno Zero, and today we're taking a look at the S.H Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuuga.
I need to get home. I need to get home. How will I go home?
Now, to give a little bit of summary about this figure is actually called S.H Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuuga Shinkoucchou Seihou. I do not know if I spelled that right. If I did not say it right, please leave it down in the comments. And this is the decayed version, which means like this isn't the Kamen Rider that appeared in Kamen Rider Kuuga. This is the one that appeared in Kamen Rider Decayed. Now, if you want to know what about Kamen Rider Kuuga, it's basically about a guy named Godai. Did I pronounce that right again? I don't know. Who finds an artifact belt, puts it on, and now he has to stop like a bunch of monsters from completing a human kill game. Which also, if you want to watch the show, you can actually watch it on shoutfactorytv.com or the Tokushoutsu YouTube channel, which has the first episode. I'm not sponsored by them, but like since I got excited to buy this figure because I watched the show on there, so it's all thanks to them. Now, first, let's get into the box. These are what the box of the brand this guy is in, the Shinkoucchou Seihou. Again, I do not know if I'm pronouncing that right. Please correct me. And every rider that they make on this, like this is what the cover of the box looks like with their face on. This is my first time getting a figure from this line, so I am pretty happy about what they did, and I'll explain later. So we get some nice detail of Kuuga. We get his name in Japanese. On the side, we also get his name in English, including that it's the mighty form. I'll explain that. S.H Figuarts. Some pictures on the back of Kuuga and some of the poses you can do, including Kamen Rider Decayed. The name again, and on the bottom it says S.H Figuarts. And I gotta say, like, this is actually the first time I opened like an S.H Figuarts box that you actually have to pull the top off, which I think is pretty nice. Now let's get into the figure. I want to say this first, but I love the painting and sculpting of this figure, including the design of it. Some people might consider it a little bit bland or plain, but I love it. It's not too complicated. It's like it's enough for you to love it, and has like a nice like detail. For example, like the symbols all across the color, including the belt. Like, I really love the work they did. It does not feel rushed at all. It does not look like it. Now, since this is the decayed version, you're probably wondering what's the difference between the original Kuuga and this Kuuga. Well, the difference between those figures is the red is actually a lot more shinier than the original, and the gold is a lot darker. And to be honest, I prefer this look for Kuuga rather than the other. Like, I prefer the first Kuuga, like, in the series, like, but not Decay, but I prefer the look of this. And at least we get some nice detail, like, awesome, like, sculpting and painting. You even got some detail on the feet where he has this symbol, which when he uses it, does his final attack, like, he leaves the mark on the shoe on the bad guy, and then they explode, which I think is nice. And I also gotta give credit to the eyes. I really love how they make the eyes in these S.H Figuarts Kamen Riders. It just looks so amazing. Plus the horns. Ow! Oh my god, they're actually really sharp. Oh no. And like for a figure from this line, it actually is very, very posable and really solid. Nothing feels loose except for the belt, but that won't move anywhere. Everything else feels nice and solid. All the joints feel really tight, and it poses just as well. It can look up that far and look down that far. He got some little chicken action. plus a ball joint on the heads, which can spin around or swivel. This he has an ab crunch and can arcing back. And by the way, this is actually a separate piece, which I actually love because it does not interfere with the ball joint on here. The arm can move out that far. This is on a hinge joint and a ball joint. You can rotate. You can't really. Well, my figure, I thought you can't really do a 360, but still, it might be just be my figure. You got a bicep swivel, a double bend, a double elbow, a hinge joint, and a ball joint on the hand, which if you rotate, you can get some side to side. I already went over the waist. The leg, it can kick up that far and move back that far. It's got a good spread, and you can actually hear how tight that joint is. I really love that. We got double jointed knee. There's a pivot, there is a swivel here, and a toe bend. So with this, you can get some pretty wide poses. Again, let me just do one really quick. Alright, you still might want to take into account for the balance between this guy, because it is possible, but it can sometimes be a pain. But here we go, and of course, that's not all he comes with. Since this form is the mighty form, it means it does not come with any weapons, which is a shame, but it does come with a lot of hands, which is really nice. Besides the closed hands, you have some open hands. You have some special transformation hands. Some slightly different open hands. Plus, my figure is absolutely necessary for Kuuga, the thumbs upping hand, because this is so you can recreate Kuuga's awesome pose. How he just gives the thumbs up to let you know everything is alright. For size comparisons, here we have it next to the Kamen Rider Amazon Omega plus a stand. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. You gotta make sure those feet are in the right position, the legs, so it won't tip over. But here we have it next to the S.H Figuarts Kamen Rider Amazon with a stand, a little Primal Groudon from Pokemon Omega Sun, and the Lord Drakkid Funko Pop. My final verdict for this figure is it is absolutely amazing. It's great posable. You can make some really awesome shots. Plus, it's just really fun to handle. And after you watch Kamen Rider Kuuga, you definitely understand how good this is. Now, for where I got it, I got from Image Anime, which is the only place right now that I can get it. Because all the other places, they want it for a lot more expensive. But I still recommend you going to Image Anime if you're interested in getting it. It is pricey, but it's definitely worth it. And that will be all for today. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Inferno Zero signing out.